Rise News' Kelsey Minor is here in the studio with more on this story. Kelsey.
Well, Frank, Zambia's vice president is a white man, and while race is not the issue here, the country is divided over whether the vice president, now interim president, is the right one to lead the country. Zambia's Vice President Guy Scott has been named interim president of the country. The move comes following the death of President Michael Sata, who died on Tuesday in a London hospital. Sata had been ill for some time. His cause of death was not immediately disclosed.
I just can't believe it. It's a very shocking news. Like, seriously, this is a great loss. I really feel bad.
Zambians, at least some of them, are on the fence about Scott serving as president. He is the first white African leader to run a nation since South Africa's F.W. de Klerk lost to Nelson Mandela in 1994.
I think Mr. Guy Scott is qualified to do the job, because they wouldn't have chosen him to be vice president if he was not qualified to do that.
The death of President Sata comes just days after Zambians held ceremonies reflecting on 50 years of freedom from colonial rule. Scott, in a position of power now, will hold the post until a special election is held in 3 months.
It's not right. 50 years after independence, I think we're supposed to have our own indigenous person acting in that position, because this actually puts the country in a very awkward position.
However, with the appointment, President Guy Scott becomes the first white Democratic leader of an African country, making history, but the history-making event will only last 90 days, Frank.
Yeah, this seems like kind of a temporary move. Can he actually step down and then run for president like another candidate?
He cannot run for president, Frank. Actually, Zambia has very strict election rules in that country that prohibits anyone from seeking office if your parents were not born in that country. So in this case, the interim President Scott does not meet the requirements, Frank.
Kelsey, thank you for that report.